Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this is something a little bit different, something that I wanted to make for a while now actually. I do get asked quite a lot how I make my videos, what kind of equipment do you use, what do you have in the shack in terms of radios, all that kind of stuff. So I'll just give you a little video about the kind of things that I use, equipment to make my videos, and maybe even go through some of the recording process as well. So first off, well, this channel kind of covers a lot of different products, and those products need to be filmed, I guess, so I can show them to you. So way back, I used to have like a white background, and I'd always struggle with lighting on that. The white background sometimes caused issues with white balance and glare and things like that when it come to recording. So I thought I would change how the background looked on the videos that I was making. So I come up with this idea. Now this board here, this is just a bit of wood, probably a bit of MDF. It's probably about 2 meters, just under 2 meters long, and it's just got this stick-on vinyl wood effect, you know. So in the videos it kind of looks like it's a, well, you probably can guess that it's not real wood, but you know, it's there for an effect. We're not looking at this really in the video, it's just as the background. And then at the back on the wall we've just got some kind of brick wallpaper. Now I'm a bit disappointed with that because as you can see there's a gap between each of them. Now I did overlap it when I actually applied it to the wall, but unfortunately it's shrunk even more, so I need to remedy that at some point. I don't think it really kind of comes out too much on the videos. Sometimes it might, sometimes it might not. Maybe you don't even notice it. At the end of the day, it's just a different kind of background than just having white. Now I do have a new desk actually, which I was hoping that would have arrived before New Year's, so that this would have been my first video for 2025, but anyway, the new desk has arrived and I'll show you that later in the video, and it's really cool as well. In fact, it might even go here. I'm quite contemplating putting the new desk here and replacing this, and it all makes sense once I show you the desk. So that's the work surface here, and the background, and then lights. Now these lights, they're just a couple of lights off of Amazon. They're made by Newer. You can kind of adjust the brightness of them. You can even adjust like the color tint, so you can kind of make it look a bit more yellow. Could do it over here, you know, so you can make it change the kind of color of how things look. Most of the time I always leave it just on white though. I find white is best, but you know, it kind of gives you that option. What you can see here, this is actually an iPad. The camera that I use, which I'll go through in a moment, is a Sony ZV-E1. And what's great about it is you can use Wi-Fi to do remote monitoring. Now, funnily enough, I did actually start off by using remote monitoring using a Viltrox screen. This is pretty good. Now, I use this more for outside. This is more for when I record outside now. It just attaches to the top of the camera, and you can obviously have a larger screen than just the screen that comes out on the camera. I'll show you the camera in more detail in a moment. And then obviously got these side bits here. At the moment I use this kind of bar which is attached to this light stand. These are just bracketed onto the table, or the makeshift table, and this gives me the overhead looking down, and I can also adjust the angle, and I can obviously disconnect it from here and drop it down as well. Sometimes if I've got a product which is say like here, say if it's in this position and I need to look at the front of it, then I can drop this all the way down to here, and the camera will sit about here and face forward, looking at the front of the product or whatever that I'm, you know, looking at. Now in some of my videos I use this excellent bit of gear. This is also made by Newer, and you can adjust the angle. And what this does, you can place your camera on top, and if you press a button, it will slowly move. And obviously, if you've seen some of my videos where you've got some close-ups of the product and it's kind of looks like the camera's panning around it, that's what I use. I use one of these. You can actually control it via Bluetooth as well. There's an app on the phone which you can control, and then I can go press this button and it will change direction. Obviously, or you can turn it off. You can actually make it go faster as well. I normally use the slowest speed. If not, set it to the speed setting 2, because sometimes maybe 1 might be a bit too jittery. But it's good. It gives a nice little effect when you're making videos. Now, when it comes to making YouTube videos, you obviously need to have a microphone. The microphone that I use is the Rode Procaster. I think it's a fabulous microphone. It seems to work very well, although you do need a preamp for it. And the one that I use is a DBX 286S, which is the top one just there. Now you can see that the studio mic that I've got is the Rode Procaster. It's picking up my voice, but that's not what you're actually hearing. You're hearing me through the Rode wireless mic at the moment. Yeah, it works very well, and it has a mic preamp, it has a compressor, a de-esser, enhancer, and an expander stroke gate. Obviously, I do still do some processing or audio processing slightly in Premiere Pro, post-processing, and that's because sometimes I need to level things out or maybe just EQ it slightly so it's not too bassy or too boomy and things. I think when I first started doing this and using this configuration, I was really heavy into the compressor, and everything just sounded way too loud. So I think I've kind of got it at a nice balance now. But obviously everyone's ears are going to be different, and everybody's speakers are going to be different on whatever device they're listening to the videos on. Now the Behringer Euro rack down the bottom, this is fantastic. Now if you need a mixer of some kind that you don't need to constantly change audio levels on, then something like this is really good. And the reason why I've got this is because I've only got 2 main radios on my shack desk at the moment, which I'll show you in a moment. But when you've got lots of different radios or lots of different audio sources, it's nice just to be able to have it going into one central place where you can control the volume of it, and then it will come out of your main speakers. Now I know that each ham radio that you get has speakers in it, but nothing really compares to having some decent home speakers, you know, audio speakers. The speakers that I use are some little Mackie active speakers. They've got an amplifier built into them, and they're really good. They sound absolutely awesome. I've got them either side of my big, large monitor, which I use for everything, you know, video editing and looking at YouTube videos and basically everything. Connected to my computer, which I'll talk more about in a moment. But yeah, so this Euro rack, all of the speaker outputs from all the radios that I use will go to a channel input. The channel output of that then obviously goes to my Mackie speakers, and then that gives me full control and nice sounding audio. So I could be chatting to somebody on 2 meters and they'd be coming out of the same speakers as if I was talking to somebody on the HF bands using my Yaesu radio. So the computer sound card that I use is a Scarlett Solo, and that's what the microphone plugs into. So this is the microphone, this is the Rode Procaster. Now they don't actually come with these. I got this separately, the little cover, and they're brilliant. I always run it with one of these foam things because it just really helps with any kind of popping and stuff, you know, when you're chatting away and talking into the microphone. You can see there in the background, just behind the microphone, just above the microphone to the left of the monitor, that's the Mackie speakers that I've got. I'll put on the screen now the model number of what they are. I'm not sure they still make them, but I'd imagine they still make an equivalent of that model. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the microphone that I use, and obviously the preamp and then the little mixer. So this is kind of where I sit and I edit my videos. Now this space always changes in terms of radios that's there. At the moment I've got an FT847 right bang in the middle there because I'm currently doing some experimentation with LEO satellites, which might come out in a near future video, which is quite interesting. The 847 is quite an old radio. It does cover HF 2 meters, 70sems and 6 meters. Obviously I want to use it for 2 and 70, and it's a great satellite workhorse for those LEO satellites. On the right there, the little small HF radio, that's just a Yaesu FT710. And I've got that out at the moment because it's very good to easily connect up to your shack antennas. And then if you want to take it portable, you can then just literally disconnect it, put it in the car and go and set up your antenna somewhere else. So it's a very good portable radio. So yeah, but this is always changing. whatever radios are here that you can see now, I can guarantee in a couple of weeks' time it'll be something else, because I'm always changing things around for whatever video that I'm working on and whatever I need. I've got a ton of SDRs that all kind of sit in place, and then they'll get moved and I'll put them somewhere else. So yeah, this space kind of always disappears. I really like the desk that I've got as well. The desk that I've got it was quite expensive. I think it was about £500 or £600. It come flat packed, you had to build it. But this is my main kind of shack desk. This won't change, but like I said earlier, I've got another desk which has arrived, which I want to show you in a moment. But yeah, so I've been asked quite a lot about what radios that I use at home for when I talk on the radio. It really varies, it really does. I don't really talk as much as I would like on ham radio, and that's basically because I spend most of my time making videos, which I absolutely love. So I don't really have a setup which is 100% all the time, you know. It always changes. So this is the new desk which I got from Flexispot, and Flexispot are pretty much sponsoring this video by providing this desk to me for free of charge. Now this is the E7 Pro model which I selected, and that was due to its super sturdiness, which is something really important if you're trying to record something on a desk. The last thing we want is to see vibrations or moving while you're recording. Now this worked out perfectly at the right time, because I'd been thinking about either putting another desk in this location or replacing the filming area worktop that I showed you a moment ago. I also wanted a desk which could move up and down. Yep, this one is motorized, because when filming different products for review, they come in all shapes and sizes. So being able to move the desk up and down not only means I can stand while recording, it also means I could mount the camera from a wall bracket and then just move the desk up and down instead of the camera running out of zoom range. Now, if you've ever bought a desk and then get it home and find that it's flimsy, well, you'll not get that experience with this. Now, according to the specs, it's made from automotive grade steel, which gives it a super sturdy feel even when the desk is extended as high as it can go. And believe me, it does. Now, the design of the frame and the legs which touch the ground appear to be designed to provide that constant sturdiness at any height, so that's perfect for my use. Now apparently the maximum weight capacity is 440 pounds, so no matter what you load up on the desk with the motorised section, it will still work nicely and smoothly, just as it does with lower weight. You also get this little front-facing control panel which you can mount on the left or right side of the desk at the time you build it. It also has a little USB port on the right which you can use to charge things like mobile phones or power a desk LED light, for example, which is kind of super handy. You can never have enough USB power ports, right? The control panel has manual up and down buttons, plus you can store up to 4 presets. Now 2 of the buttons have these standing and sitting icons, meaning you can preset heights for sitting or standing. You just set the height using the manual up and down button, and then press the M and then the preset, and then it's stored. Now under the desk, you also get a cable tray, and these are to keep those cables nice and tidy and out of the way. And with a moving desk like this, the last thing you want is to have lots of cables getting caught up and snagged as you're trying to raise or lower the height. So this little tray is super convenient. Now, if you ever wanted to get yourself one of these desks, then use code YTE7P50 on the Flexispot website and you'll get $50 off. Now, while you're there on the website, you can check out all the other options for the E7 Pro, like the stand color, desktop size, and even the style. Okay, so let's pop outside and take a look at the antennas that I use. And again, these are constantly changing, but the ones that I'm going to show you are there pretty much all the time. So the antennas on the side of the house, on the left, we have a 4-meter antenna, which is 70 megahertz, not used around the world in every place, but here I've got a vertical. And then the main mast going up, we've got a vertically polarized Paradar 868 megahertz for LoRa. The Yagi just pointing north. Just above that, if you can see it, it's a little white antenna. That's an active ADS-B antenna for receiving aircraft positions. And then the antenna right at the top, well, that's a tri-band antenna for 2 meters, 70 sems and 23 sems. So 2 meters is 145 megahertz. Then you've got 440 megahertz or 430, and then 1.2 gigahertz, which I've got an interesting video coming out soon, which talks about using 1.2 gigahertz. So if that's your thing, then stay tuned for that. The main HF antenna is a end-fed half wave for 40 meters. The wire goes over to a telescopic fiberglass pole, and that's based down here, and that has a 49:1 transformer at the bottom, a choke to stop any RF coming back down the coax. That's just some wire just goes up and off to the main mast. The dish here, 1.2 meter dish, use this for QA100, and the feed point, the white cone, that's a 2.4 gigahertz helix for transmit, and an LNB, which is actually a bullseye LNB for receiving 10 gigahertz, which is then converted down to around 750 megahertz, and that goes off into my conservatory to my DATV and QA100 SSB transceiver that I built. You can see all that in another video. So that's the antennas. Now I know this looks a little bit messy, and believe me, it's all kind of work in progress. That's what we all say, right? But inside the conservatory, this is my QA100 setup. We have DATV, so we can transmit and receive digital amateur television, and we can also use the narrowband transponder SSB on the QA100 satellite. Now I have a whole load of videos on this, how I built this and how it works. Go and check those out if you want to take a look. By the way, that there, it's a 250 watt 2.4 gigahertz amplifier. You really do not want to be standing in front of the dish when that's turned on. Show you the camera that I use. This is the ZV-E1, absolutely awesome camera. I use the FE4 16-35mm lens, so I can get a nice wide shot, and also you do get the zoom in to 35mm as well. It's in a metal cage. I put that on separately, and you've got this little handle here. I did used to use a gimbal, but don't really need to really. I don't really take it outside that often. The monitor that I have screws onto the top here, so you can screw it on and it will sit nicely here for when you're working outside. And also, now mainly a lot of my videos are talkover videos, which, you know, obviously this is as well, but I'm using a different microphone because I'm not actually facing my computer. So the microphone that I'm using for this video is the Rode Wireless Me. You get the receiver which plugs into the camera itself, and this actually has a microphone in it as well. So if you're recording a sort of a conversation between you and someone else, you can give them the transmitter, which is go on their lapel or whatever, and then the wireless receive one, which is here, can then face me or whoever's recording. So lastly, the computer that I use for editing and everything else has an Intel Core i9 24-core processor, and this is mounted onto an Asus ROG Z790F gaming motherboard. And that's along with 32GB of Corsair Vengeance DDR5 RAM, that's running at 6 GHz. And then lastly, I use a 24GB NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090 graphics card. Now this computer is a complete beast, and it pretty much runs everything that I throw at it, which is perfect for when I'm running SDR software and obviously video editing. Anyway, this video is something different, and if you enjoyed it, let us know down in the comments below. Probably be the last time I'll do something like this, so don't worry. Back to usual ham radio related products in the next video.